centuries before Europe built its first stone fortress. Long before China carved its imperial palaces. A forgotten African civilization was already engineering megacities, mastering astronomy, and running a global trade network so advanced that medieval scholars called it the City of Gold. Yet for hundreds of years, historians ignored it. Some claimed it never existed. Others insisted Africans couldn't have built it. They were all wrong. Today, we uncover the empire they tried to erase. Welcome to Great Zimbabwe, a powerful African civilization that flourished between the 11th and 15th centuries in what is now modern-day Zimbabwe and Mozambique. But this wasn't just a kingdom. It was a civilizational powerhouse, a network of cities connected by stone highways, gold mines, and trade routes stretching from the heart of Africa to Asia, India, Persia, Arabia, and even China. The people? The Shona civilization. Architects, astronomers, traders, and kings whose achievements rivaled the greatest societies of the medieval world. But somehow, the world forgot them. Or rather, the world ignored them. To understand the rise of this forgotten empire, you need to imagine Africa around the year 1000. While Europe struggled through the Dark Ages, southern Africa was exploding with innovation. The Shona discovered vast deposits of gold in the plateau. Not just small pockets, but entire landscapes layered with minerals. And gold was the gasoline of the medieval world. Arab traders on the Swahili coast were hungry for it. Persian merchants wanted it. India wanted it. Even China's Song dynasty collected African gold to mint their coins. And who controlled the source? Great Zimbabwe. Gold flowed north from the mines, through Great Zimbabwe's markets, all the way to Kilwa, Mombasa, and beyond. In exchange, the Shona imported porcelain from China, glass from Persia, cloth from India, and luxury goods from Arabia. This turned Great Zimbabwe into a wealth engine, and like all powerful empires, wealth became influence, and influence became power. At the heart of this empire rose a city so large and so complex that early European explorers refused to believe Africans built it. They called it the Great Enclosure, and it is still the largest ancient structure in sub-Saharan Africa. Imagine towering stone walls rising 36 feet high, built without a single drop of mortar. Every stone laid precisely. Every curve engineered with mathematical perfection. This wasn't a village. This wasn't a tribe. This was an African metropolis. At its peak, Great Zimbabwe had 18,000 plus residents, a royal acropolis, spiritual centers, marketplaces, and industrial zones for goldworking and iron forging. For centuries, it stood as one of the most advanced cities on the continent. What made it unique? Number 1. Architecture that defied expectations. The stone cities of Great Zimbabwe were built in perfect ellipses and curves, something rare in medieval architecture. Engineers shaped the city to reflect cosmic patterns, aligning structures with the sun, moon, and seasons. Some theorists believe parts of the city functioned as an ancient observatory. Number 2. Far-reaching trade routes. Archaeologists found Chinese Ming Dynasty porcelain, Arabian glass beads, Persian bowls, and Indian cloth, all in the ruins of Zimbabwe. How does a city deep in southern Africa get these items? Simple. They weren't isolated. They were international players in medieval globalization. Number 3. A society built on skill, not slavery. Unlike many ancient empires, Great Zimbabwe wasn't built by slaves. It was built by a structured, skilled community of stonemasons, miners, traders, and spiritual leaders. Number 4. A political system based on respect. The king, called the Mambo, ruled not by absolute fear but through a spiritual and social contract with the people. His power depended on the prosperity of the kingdom. If he failed, he could be removed. This balance helped stabilize the empire for centuries. But here's where the story gets strange. For centuries, European scholars refused to believe Great Zimbabwe was built by Africans. They blamed Phoenicians, Arabs, even lost Israelites, everyone except the people who actually lived there. Why? Because Great Zimbabwe shattered the colonial myth that Africa had no advanced civilizations. The real architects, the Shona people, were erased from the narrative. But even beyond the colonial denial, Great Zimbabwe carries mysteries that still puzzle historians today. Number 1. Why was the city suddenly abandoned? At its height, It was booming with life. Then, within a century, it emptied out. Did drought push people away? Was there political conflict? Did trade routes shift? Or was something else happening? Number 2. Why did the walls stand when many empires crumbled? Those structures are still standing after 600 years with no mortar. How did medieval engineers achieve that? What techniques did they use? Why were the designs so mathematically precise? Number 3. What was the purpose of the mysterious tower? Inside the great enclosure stands a 30-foot conical tower. No doors. No entrance. No windows. Was it a symbol of royal authority? A grain silo representing wealth? A spiritual monument? Nobody knows for sure. These mysteries created a powerful aura around Great Zimbabwe, an African city that refused to reveal all its secrets. Picture this. The year is around 1450. Smoke rises gently above the gold-refining hearths. Traders from distant lands weave through crowded markets. Children run between stone walls that have stood longer than living memory. Life is normal. And then, something shifts. The drought hits. Rivers shrink. Farms dry out. Cattle die. Food becomes scarce. At the same time, the empire's trade routes begin to fragment. A rival kingdom, the Mutapa Empire, rises to the north and seizes control of key gold mines. Merchants who once passed through Great Zimbabwe now take alternative paths. The city's lifeline, gold, weakens. Then comes the political tension. The king's authority wavers. Clans compete for influence. The spiritual unity that held the empire together begins to crack. And slowly, a city that once echoed with life becomes silent. People leave in waves, not because the kingdom was conquered, but because its center could no longer sustain them. The stone walls remain. The towers remain. But the people are gone. Great Zimbabwe, once the beating heart of southern Africa, becomes a ghost. Not destroyed. Simply abandoned. Hidden by time. Erased by biased historians. Forgotten by the world. Until now. Why it matters today. Great Zimbabwe didn't just disappear into myth. It became a symbol, a powerful reminder of Africa's true history. Number 1. It inspired a nation. When Zimbabwe gained independence in 1980, the new country chose its name from this very civilization. Its national emblem, its currency, and even its identity are rooted in Great Zimbabwe stone towers. Number 2. It shattered lies about Africa. The rediscovery of Great Zimbabwe forced historians to confront the truth. Africans built cities. Africans engineered architecture. Africans ran complex trade networks. Africans shaped global history. And they did it without needing validation from outside civilizations. Number 3. Modern researchers are still discovering new secrets. Every year, archaeologists uncover more about the Shona civilization. New trade networks. New architectural techniques. New cultural artifacts. New links to other African states. Great Zimbabwe is no longer a mystery that colonial scholars can suppress. It is a living chapter of African brilliance. Number 4. Its story redefines global history. Because the moment you recognize Great Zimbabwe's achievements, you start to see Africa's role in shaping the medieval world. Not as a footnote, but as a force. And that, my friends, is the African civilization historians tried to bury for centuries. A civilization of engineers, astronomers, traders, kings, and dreamers. A reminder that history is not always written by the victors. Sometimes it's written by the loudest voices. But today, we take the story back. If you want more forgotten civilizations, lost empires, and hidden African history, make sure you like this video, share it, comment and subscribe to Dude Historian. History isn't boring, it's a treasure hunt. And we just unlocked one of its greatest secrets.